Hi lovelies, Lauren here, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be taking you through a primal flow sequence, kind of short and sweet, but it's something I like to do within most of my self practices as it really helps to warm up the entire body. There's kind of little snippets of free movement in there as well, so it helps you to connect to how your body wants to move on that particular day, and it's also kind of that little bit of a boost. So if you feel like you're kind of lacking in motivation today, hopefully that's going to provide you with that little bit of energy to get you going, and that's kind of perfect for me today because that is exactly where I am, a little bit low on motivation, so this is just as equally beneficial for me as it is for you. So if you are ready, come and join me on your mat if you have one, but if you don't, no worries. We're going to start in a tabletop. And we're just going to start to warm up the wrists. So have your shoulders over the wrist. You can start by circling the shoulders round and round. So it's always good to start to mobilize the wrist joints, and this primal movement is going to be quite heavy on the hands and on the knees and feet. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here just making sure those joints are fairly warm. You can reverse the direction of that circle when you're ready, and you might notice those circles start to get a little bit bigger. And as you notice your shoulders come over your fingertips, see if you can grip the mat a little bit more. Beautiful. So really activating through the entire hand here. Lovely, well done. Okay, come back to center. Just start to spin the fingertips out to the side. Shift the weight side to side. Just a couple of times. Beautiful. And then we keep spinning the fingertips back towards us. Take care here. Keep the elbows long if we can. Keep the elbows straight if we can. Shifting the weight forwards and back. Just a couple of times. Beautiful. So you hopefully should feel that beautiful stretch down the inner or the inside of the wrist. Beautiful. And then from here, shift the weight back, peel the heel of the hand away from the mat, and actually send your thumbs out to the side. So nice big stretch for the palm of the hand here. Lovely. Take another breath in. Take another breath out. Beautiful. Heels of the hands come back down. Spin the fingertips to face back forwards, and then just flip onto the back of the right hand. And again, we shift the weight forwards and back. Beautiful. And again, we do that just a couple of times. And then we change. Bring the right palm down, back of the left. Shift the weight forwards and back. Okay. Keep going for another breath in. Another breath out. Beautiful. Left palm comes down, spin the fingertips out to the side again, and again flip onto the back of the right palm, shift the weight from side to side. So hopefully all 10 fingertips are pointing towards the left. Beautiful. And it's always good whilst we're here, whilst we're warming on the wrists, just to keep checking in with the breath. So again, take a big breath in through the nose, sigh out through the mouth. Beautiful. Change. Spin the fingertips to point to the right, and you've got onto the back of the left hand, shifting the weight from side to side. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Beautiful. And then let's come to the palm of both hands. Spin the fingertips to point forwards, and then final thing here, starting to connect to that kind of primal movement. Imagining we're a cat pawing at our mat, and you're just going to ripple the hands up and down. So rippling the hands down, and as the hand comes down, see if we can lead with the heel of the hand, then kind of the pad, so the base of your knuckles here, then let that spread out through the fingertips and really again grip down here. So then continue shifting the weight from side to side as you go. So channeling that movement of a cat. Lovely. Let's take another breath in. Another breath out. Beautiful. Both hands flat down towards the earth. Let's move through some cat and cow. Let's drop the belly down towards the ground. Lift the chest, lift the tailbone, gazing straight ahead. Feel that stretch across the abdominals. And then as we exhale, looking down either towards your belly button perhaps, or maybe towards your knees, push the ground away. Lift the shoulder blades up to the sky. Curve through the back. And as we inhale, we go again. We drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. And exhale, we curve. Perhaps moving through this one more time. Inhale, rising up. Exhale into your curve. Beautiful. And then from here, we can keep this familiar movement going. So if you're quite familiar with that, with the structure of a cat and cow, you can stay with that, moving with the breath. That's absolutely fine. Or maybe we start to break free from that familiar pattern. So we might start to send the rib cage in a bit more of a circular motion. So this is where we start to bring in a little bit of free movement. And again, you can still kind of channel that movement imagery of a cat. So how a cat can bend, twist from side to side. And it's almost quite fluid how they move. So let's see if we can channel that into our bodies. Often we tend to think of the movement of our body as quite mechanical, kind of up, down, left, right. Let's see if we can find opportunities to move in between those directions. So there's no right or wrong here. Moving in a way that feels good for you. You might again shift the weight forwards and back. Lovely, well done. And throughout this, as best as we can, let's keep this movement going. So this might get a little bit tiring in places, and if that's the case, what we can do is we can slow things down. So you don't have to be moving at a fast pace the entire time. Use that to kind of gather your resources, gather a little bit of energy. And then when you're ready, again, you can start to speed it back up again. Beautiful. Finding all these different ways we can articulate through the spine, soften through the elbows, get the head and the neck a little bit more involved. Beautiful. Okay. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Okay, let's start to connect to our centers a little bit more. So starting to stoke that little bit of a fire in our bellies. We're going to keep this movement going. Start to tuck all 10 toes under and hover the knees off. But again, we keep this free movement going. So we might start to lengthen the legs, twist the knees from side to side. Beautiful. So this is where that wrist warm-up is going to come in handy. So those wrists are already nice and warm, so they're able to support the body as we begin to lift off here. Keep moving, beautiful. You might even notice you can take one hand off, send it to the sky, almost coming into like a little side plank variation. And repeating on the other side. But again, there's no right or wrong. And you might already notice this gets a little bit fiery. So if we need to take a break at any moment, no worries, we can pop the knees down and find that free movement on our hands and on our knees. Lovely, well done. And again, gather up that energy, gather your resources, take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. And when we're ready, we pick those knees back up and we go again. Beautiful. Try not to be tempted to send the hips too high straight away. Staying kind of in this plank region, shifting the weight from side to side. So again, we're really tapping up into the core here. Warming up the shoulders, the arms. Beautiful. So you're really going to notice this in your entire body. Keep moving. 3 more rounds of breath. Big breath in. Big breath out. 2 more. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Beautiful. Okay. Gently bring the knees down towards the ground. You can separate the knees perhaps mat distance apart, and let's melt the hips back towards our heels. Take a little child's pose. Beautiful. And as you come here, resting your forehead down to the earth, notice your breath rate. So again, we might already notice the heart rate has elevated slightly. We're breathing just a touch quicker, so stay with some beautiful deep breaths here. Lovely, well done. Okay. Take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Beautiful. Stretching the fingertips forwards, lift the head, look towards the top of your mat. As we inhale, we're going to rise up through a tabletop, but take that curved spine. So you're tucking the tailbone under, tucking the chin towards the chest. And then from here, we keep it going. So we melt the hips down towards the mat. Lift the heart, lift the chest into a cobra. Now, if this is a little bit too intense for our spines, no worries. We can soften in the elbows and come down a little bit lower. Beautiful. Take a breath in. And then we exhale, we tuck the chin towards the chest, pull the ribs in, we send it back, child's pose. So we're going to move through that maybe twice more. So rest for a moment in your child's pose. And then on your next inhale, you rise up through that curved spine. And exhale, melt the hips down towards the earth, lift the heart through the chest, shoulders down and away from the ears. Big breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest, pull the ribs in, send the hips back towards your heels. Beautiful, we're going to go once more. So on your next inhale, rise through that curved spine. And exhale, hips to the earth. Cobra. Fabulous, big breath in. Now this time as we exhale, let's tuck the toes under. We're going to rise all the way up into a downward facing dog. So take a moment here as you send bottoms up to the sky, pedal out through the feet. Maybe the heels meet the mat, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. Just taking an opportunity to get that beautiful stretch down through the back of the legs. Lovely, well done. Okay. Now take a big breath in. Big breath out. Now in the same way we did those kind of ripples from our child's pose to a cobra, we're going to have a look at that same sort of movement coming from a down dog to an up dog. So we inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips nice and high. We exhale, start to shift the body forwards as if you're going to come into this plank pose. And again, there might be kind of like this curve in the spine. And then from here, we start to melt the hips down, keep the toes tucked, pull the heart through, up dog. So your hips and thighs are lifted away from the mat. If it's too much, bring them down. No worries. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest. Pull the ribs in. Push, push, push. Back to your down dog. Beautiful. That is a strong movement. We're going to go twice more. And as we go, just see if, again, we can connect to that kind of ripple, that wave in the body. So here we go. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips. Hollow out the body in your plank. Exhale, hips start to sink down into your up dog. Big inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin towards the chest, pull the ribs in, bend the knees if you need to, down dog. You have one more time. Take a breath in, lift the heels, lift the hips. Exhale, beautiful. Starting to melt the hips down. Rise up through the heart, big breath in. Exhale, tuck the chin, pull the ribs in, hips to sky, down dog. Fabulous. Okay, take one more breath in here. Move if you need to. One more breath out. Inhale, look forwards towards your fingertips, bend the knees and start to plod the feet towards your hands. Beautiful. When you're ready, the hands can come away from the mat and just shake off the wrists, shake the fingertips, rotate in the wrists maybe. You can bend in one knee, then the other, kind of having a little shimmy in the hips from side to side. Beautiful. Okay. And then when you're ready, take hold of opposite elbows and just use this as an opportunity to let the upper body really hang heavy here. Lovely, well done. So the crown of the head is heavy, slowly dripping down towards the mat. There's softness in the back of the knees to make sure we're not locking out the legs at all. Softly think about lifting the tailbone up to the sky, so getting that deep stretch down the back of the legs and that beautiful release across the lower spine. Beautiful, let's take another breath in. Another breath out. Okay, now as we inhale, we are going to think about bending into the knees and just bring your sit bones down towards the ground. You can use your hands to support you as you go. Beautiful, okay. Now again, stoking that fire in our bellies again, you're going to take your hands either to the back of the thighs to start. That's one option. Or you can lean into the hands here, and you can either have the fingertips pointing towards the body, or you can turn them out to the side. Entirely up to you. And again, all of these are options, so feel free to play with all those options and see what works best for you. And you can also flip between all of them, yeah? But what you're going to do, no matter where your hands are, let's lift the feet off. Now, if it's too tricky to lift both feet off at the same time, you can kind of tap the toes and work on building strength that way, yeah? Shoulders soft away from the ears, lifting the chest. Now, once we're feeling a little bit more steady, we are going to think about, if your hands are around the back of the thighs, we're going to think about maybe taking the hands off. And again, you can keep toe tapping there, or maybe you're holding in your boat pose, or you might be here. So leaning into the hands, and this is actually really great to help protect your lower spine. Now, no matter where you are, we're going to connect to this kind of water-like movement. So again, everything is super fluid. So I want you to imagine you're just floating in a body of water. Beautiful. So we can extend the legs, reach up through the arms, almost like having a little dance in your bow pose. And if you've still got the hands down, again, you're just moving with the legs. This is also going to be great for building strength in the hip flexors here. Beautiful. Keep going. 3 more rounds of breath. This is tricky. Big inhale. Big exhale. 2 more. Big inhale. Big exhale. Doesn't matter how it looks. 1 more. Big breath in. Big breath out. Beautiful. Wrap the arms around the shins or the back of the thighs. Curl yourselves up into a little ball. Big breath in. Beautiful. Exhale. Set the feet down and just come to a cross-legged. Nice and easy. Beautiful. Palms to hands facing on top of the knees rather. Slide the shoulders down the back. Beautiful. And again, check in with your breath. You might even place one hand to your heart space, one hand to rest on your lower belly. Beautiful. Take a moment to connect with the energy, that prana, flowing around your body. And perhaps it's churning up different emotions for you. So notice how you are feeling right now in this moment. Notice whether you can take even deeper breaths in here and even more releasing sighs out. Beautiful. Spending a little bit of time with our breath. And then all we're going to do for the final few moments of our practice together is work through a little box breath. So with our box breath, we're aiming to keep the inhalation and the exhalation for the same amount of time. And we're going to also work towards retaining the breath also. So just take a normal inhale in. Normal breath out. Then on your next inhale, breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Control the exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can notice how that kind of replicates the shape of a box. You can almost use your hand out in front of you to visualize. So maybe you draw a line up in space out in front of you with your fingers. You inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the fingertip down. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Keep that going. I'm just going to turn to face you so it's really clear what's happening with that fingertip in space. So again, inhale, fingertips draw up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Couple more times. Feel free to count at your own pace now, so don't feel as though you have to be copying and following me. You can also add in a count. You might count to 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever feels good for you. And we're just going to take that in our own time for a few rounds. So, in your own time, off you go. Perhaps coming into your final round now, but again, no rush. And once you've finished that final round, just bring both palms of the hands to the knees, breathe normally, taking soft inhales, gentle exhales. Notice how you feel now, maybe a little bit more grounded, steady, calm. Beautiful. And as always, let's seal our little practice today with the final blessing. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you at night. May the rain wash away your worries. And may the breeze blow new strength throughout your being. May you walk through the world knowing its beauty all the days of your life. With that, we bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart. Take a breath in. Breathe out as you bow. And we say namaste. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me for that little primal flow short sequence. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it has set you up for the rest of the day, feeling a little bit more energized, connected to both your body and breath. So do have a lovely rest of your day, and don't forget, I'll be back next Sunday with another free class for you. I'll see you then. Mwah!